The power of perception. How first impressions shape our reality. We all make snap judgments, it's human nature. From the moment we meet someone new, our brains work tirelessly to categorize them, drawing inferences from their appearance, demeanor, and initial interactions. This natural tendency to form rapid assessments, while often helpful in navigating the complexities of social life, can also lead to a fascinating psychological phenomenon known as the halo effect. Imagine meeting someone new at a work conference. They're sharply dressed, articulate, and exude an air of confidence. Instinctively, you might associate these positive qualities with other desirable traits, such as intelligence, competence, and trustworthiness, even without any concrete evidence to support these assumptions. This is the halo effect in action, a cognitive bias where our overall impression of a person, often influenced by a single positive characteristic, colors our perception of their other attributes, whether or not they actually possess them. In the professional realm, where perceptions hold immense sway, understanding the halo effect is crucial, as it can profoundly impact hiring decisions, performance evaluations, and overall workplace dynamics. Unmasking the halo. What is the halo effect? Coined by psychologist Edward Thorndike in the early 20th century, the halo effect describes a cognitive bias where our overall impression of a person, often shaped by a single positive trait, influences our evaluations of their other, unrelated characteristics. Essentially, it's like seeing someone through a rose-colored lens, where their positive attributes cast a warm glow on everything else about them, even if those perceptions aren't grounded in reality. This effect can manifest in various ways. For instance, we might perceive someone who is physically attractive as being more intelligent, trustworthy, or competent, even if there's no correlation between physical appearance and these traits. Similarly, a stellar first impression, perhaps during a job interview, can create a halo that leads interviewers to overlook potential red flags or overemphasize positive aspects of a candidate's profile. Understanding this cognitive shortcut is essential, as it can significantly skew our judgments, particularly in settings where objectivity is paramount. Snap judgments. The role of first impressions in creating halos. First impressions are powerful. Within seconds, our brains form an initial assessment, drawing on visual cues, social norms, and personal biases. This sets the stage for the halo effect, where initial impressions linger long after the encounter. Consider two candidates interviewing for the same position. Candidate A arrives punctually, impeccably dressed, and greets warmly. Candidate B is slightly late, dressed casually, and appears flustered. The halo effect suggests candidate A's positive impression might give them an advantage. The interviewer may perceive candidate A as more professional and competent. The halo in action. Real-world examples of the halo effect at work. The halo effect's influence extends far beyond initial encounters, permeating various aspects of our professional lives. From hiring decisions to performance reviews, this cognitive bias can subtly shape our perceptions and influence our actions. Let's delve into some real-world examples to illustrate its impact. Hiring and promotion. Imagine a manager promoting an employee to a leadership role. One candidate consistently exceeds expectations and demonstrates a strong work ethic. Another candidate, while competent, possesses exceptional interpersonal skills and a charismatic personality. The halo effect suggests the manager might promote the charismatic candidate, overshadowing performance discrepancies. Performance evaluations. During reviews, the halo effect can lead to biased assessments. An employee with a positive attitude might receive more favorable evaluations, even if their work output is average. Conversely, a highly skilled but less socially adept employee might be unfairly perceived as less competent. The impact of the halo effect on workplace dynamics. The halo effect shapes workplace dynamics, influencing team collaborations and power structures. It affects how we interact, allocate resources, and navigate hierarchies. Imagine a team project where one member is seen as a star performer. Others might defer to their opinions, stifling creativity and diverse perspectives. The halo effect also impacts communication and feedback. We might sugarcoat criticism for those we favor, or be harsher to those we don't. Section 6. The halo shadow, unconscious bias, and the perpetuation of inequality. While the halo effect might seem like a harmless cognitive quirk, its implications run far deeper. particularly in the context of unconscious bias and workplace inequality. By allowing superficial qualities or first impressions to disproportionately influence our judgments, we risk perpetuating existing biases and creating an uneven playing field for individuals from underrepresented groups. Here's how the halo effect contributes to unconscious bias and inequality. Reinforcing stereotypes. The halo effect can reinforce harmful stereotypes, particularly those related to gender, race, ethnicity, or socioeconomic background. For instance, if we unconsciously associate leadership qualities with masculine traits, we might be more likely to perceive men as natural leaders, even in the absence of any objective evidence. Limiting opportunities. Unconscious bias, fueled by the halo effect, can limit opportunities for individuals from marginalized groups. For example, if a hiring manager holds unconscious biases about a particular demographic, they might be more likely to overlook qualified candidates from that group, even if those candidates possess the necessary skills and experience. Section 7. Leveling the playing field strategies for mitigating the halo effect. Recognizing the pervasive influence of the halo effect is the first step towards mitigating its impact and fostering a more equitable workplace. By implementing conscious strategies to counteract this cognitive bias, we can create a more objective and inclusive environment where individuals are judged on their merits, rather than superficial impressions. Here are some practical strategies to mitigate the halo effect. Structured interviews. Implement structured interview processes that focus on objective criteria and standardized questions. This reduces the likelihood of interviewers relying on gut feelings or allowing first impressions to sway their judgments. Blind resume reviews. Consider implementing blind resume reviews, where identifying information such as names, genders, and ethnicities are removed from resumes during the initial screening process. This helps reduce the influence of unconscious biases related to a candidate's background. Section 8. Cultivating awareness. Recognizing our own biases and assumptions. Mitigating the halo effect requires a deep dive into our own thought processes. We must develop a keen awareness of our own biases and assumptions, acknowledging that we all hold implicit biases, often shaped by our upbringing, cultural background, and personal experiences. Here are some tips for cultivating self-awareness. Take time to reflect on past decisions, particularly those involving hiring, promotion, or performance evaluations. Ask yourself whether your judgments were influenced by superficial factors or first impressions, rather than objective criteria. Don't hesitate to seek feedback from trusted colleagues or mentors, particularly those who might have different perspectives or backgrounds. They can provide valuable insights into potential blind spots in your decision-making process. Section 9. Objective evaluation. Implementing fair and transparent performance measures. Creating a more equitable workplace requires moving beyond subjective impressions and establishing clear, objective performance measures. By defining specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound, SMART goals and metrics, we can provide a fairer and more transparent framework for evaluating performance. Here's how to implement objective evaluation. Ensure that job descriptions, performance expectations, and promotion criteria are clearly defined and communicated to all employees. This provides a shared understanding of what constitutes success and reduces the likelihood of subjective interpretations. Implement regular check-ins and feedback sessions to provide ongoing performance assessments. This allows for timely course correction, recognizes achievements, and addresses any performance gaps before they escalate. Section 10. The power of perspective. Seeking diverse viewpoints and feedback. One of the most effective ways to counteract the halo effect is to actively seek out diverse perspectives and feedback. By surrounding ourselves with individuals who hold different viewpoints, experiences, and backgrounds, we challenge our own assumptions and gain a more comprehensive understanding of situations. Here's how to incorporate diverse perspectives. Prioritize diversity and inclusion in hiring practices, actively seeking out candidates from underrepresented groups. This brings a wider range of perspectives and experiences to the table, enriching decision-making processes. Foster a workplace culture that encourages open dialogue and constructive dissent. Create safe spaces for employees to share their perspectives, challenge assumptions, and engage in respectful debate. Section 11. Breaking the mold. A call to action for a more equitable workplace. The halo effect is a powerful reminder of the human brain's tendency to take shortcuts. While these mental shortcuts often serve us well, they can also lead to unconscious biases that perpetuate inequality and hinder our ability to make objective judgments. By acknowledging the halo effect's influence and implementing strategies to mitigate its impact, we can create a more just and equitable workplace where individuals are valued for their unique talents and contributions rather than superficial impressions. Let's challenge our assumptions, embrace diverse perspectives, and strive to create a workplace where everyone has an equal opportunity to shine.